We are down a man. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. We're going to have some fun tonight. You can see I'm a little bit red. You can see the red neck. Check out, I was just showing Frank this.
It's got the redneck tan.
I got a nice little redneck because I was walking back and forth from my car that died yesterday. It's currently at the Hyundai dealership because the engine seized up, and apparently they are supposed to be taking care of that thing.
All cars go to heaven.
Lan is out today. I was hoping he was going to be here because I got the computers all souped up. I installed a bunch of RAM. I got 64 gigs rocking in each PC now. But unfortunately, Lan is out. He is not feeling well, so that nope, he's not frozen. That's just how he is for the day, Anna.
No, he's frozen. In the poop position.
Damn, Beard says my car died also. Blown head gasket. Oy, that sucks, man.
Oh, those, yeah. They were a little shake, rattle, and roll.
Shake, rattle, and roll, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
What happened in my Mustang 20 years ago?
Coming up on the program, we got Lethal Weapon 2. And this is why, God, I really wanted Lan to be here. We'll have to reenact this next week because it's the whole they fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? That's what they do. They fuck you at the drive-thru. Which is just fantastic. Joe Pesci from Lethal Weapon 2. We're also going to get to Entertech. You remember those guns? Remember the old water pistols? We're going to get to Adventures in Babysitting. We're going to talk Jarts.
When you said Entertech, I went straight to Office Space for some reason.
No, Entertech with an E, not an I. We're going to talk about American Pie. We'll get to 5 fast questions. No trivia tonight, obviously, because Lan's not here. And then we're doing Tom Cruise movie draft because today happens to be Mr. Tom Cruise's birthday. Do you know how old he is, Frank?
62.
You are right. Did you know that, or did
Am
you guess?
I?
Yeah.
No, I just guessed.
Yeah,
Right,
he's 62. He was born in 1962. So there you go. But the first thing that we like to do is we like to mosey on over to me old YouTube channel.
And we old YouTubes.
And we check out the polls from the past week.
Stripper polls. I still need to find a Biggins t-shirt.
A Biggins. All right, now I got to remember exactly where we left off. We're going to be... All right, the 27th. So let's go to that. So, obviously not going to have any competitions here because, you know.
Spill ourselves, man. Like every day.
I do need to tell you. So, oh shit! I fucked this whole thing up. Hold on.
It's like you have a giant X-Acto knife behind the Wolverine back there.
What's up?
Behind the Wolverine, whatever that is, piled up. It looks like a giant X-Acto knife.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The blue thing. In the corner of your room.
That?
No. The back up against the wall. Yeah, behind Wolverine.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, but oh, on the screen looks like a giant X-Acto knife.
Okay.
Keep your wrist away from it, please, sir.
I will. All right, hold on. 27th. Let me. I should have had this shit already ready to go.
Just buying you time is what I was doing.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. I charge double.
Oh shit!
Did
I
charge
not
for time?
I guess I didn't put up a poll yesterday. What the fuck? I thought that I did. Hold on. No. All right. Whatever. Anyway. So here's the thing. So we're going to have to get input from the audience for our third person for the movie draft. So we already got Beard and Anna here. Do you guys want to work collaboratively? Do you want to alternate picks? Do you want to have one person choose the movies? Because we are going to have an opening there for the Tom Cruise movie draft. So let me know on that. But our first poll that we had up. It was
a ginger poll.
Who is the best part of the Big Lebowski?
Wow.
I put the dude, Walter, Donnie, or Jesus.
Man, I guess that really depends on like what character you're a fan of. 'Cause I think most people would say the dude because he's the majority of the movie, but I could see people pulling for Jesus and for Donnie, because they're just so off-ball.
See, really, I would go with Walter. Walter's my favorite.
I enjoyed him in that, but his character annoyed the crap out of me. He's one of those people in real life that you just want to slap.
See, I thought it was one of John Goodman's greatest
was.
roles. But you are right. The dude came in first place here, 62% of that poll.
Nobody
really wasn't even
fucks
close.
with the Jesus.
You got that right, man.
Hey, if you come to the land and you pull out that thing,
That crazy
I'm gonna
shit with us.
take it from you and shove it up
Shove
your
it
ass and pull it
trigger until it
goes
goes click. All right, the next poll that I put up there, you said it, man. The next poll was, what is the best parody movie of all time? And the 4 options I put up there were Airplane, The Naked Gun, Scary Movie, and Spaceballs. Which one do you think
people
won the
had
poll?
to go Spaceballs, right?
Okay, so you think people went with Spaceballs. Which one would you pick?
I would pick Spaceballs.
Shit, wrong button.
Oh!
No, Scary Movie. Which I
you got
think is
the
a,
younger kids
I was
then.
going to say, which is a pretty clear indication as to the age group of the people that are checking out my YouTube channel. But yeah,
if you
Scary
went for, like not another teen movie, they probably would have gone for that one.
I love that movie. I think that movie's great. But yeah, Scary Movie, 48% of the vote. Airplane coming in second, and then Spaceballs, and then The Naked Gun coming in a distant fourth.
Yeah, younger crowd there.
Let's go with the next one here. Was what is the greatest board game of all time? This was related to the 5 fast questions from last week. The 4 options I put up there were Clue, The Game of Life, Monopoly, and Trivial Pursuit. Which one do you
Everybody
think?
went Monopoly. Yeah, everybody went Monopoly on that one.
Like a lot. 78%. The other ones didn't even get double digits. It was Monopoly at 78.
It's like asking everybody if they want to read the ESPN just regular magazine or the Body magazine. Everybody's
Yeah, Body.
Body.
Next one. Who is the best Batman movie villain? I went with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Jack Nicholson's Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, or Danny DeVito's Penguin.
It's gonna be Heath Ledger's Joker.
By a landslide.
Yeah.
82%. Who do you think came in second?
Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah, 11. And
People
then
love the Jokers.
Yep, and then Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman 4%, and the Danny DeVito only bringing in 3. And he was amazing.
You should have put Jared Leto's Joker just to see how much he would have not got.
Somehow he scores -%.
Man, that's so sad to him because he probably could have had an amazing Joker, but that movie he was put in sucked.
Yeah, and they changed the role and all the other crap that went along with it. All right, next poll is, who was the most influential wrestler in WCW? This is something actually I talked about with Frank and Lan last week before I put this up. And the 4 options I put there were Goldberg, Hollywood Hogan, Ric Flair, and Sting.
I actually checked that one out, so I know it's Hogan, and I kind of am like, I don't know, it's like one of those where I get why people are saying he was influential because of NWO, but it's like, I think true WCW fans will kind of go, well, he was WWF/E first before he was WCW, and it should have been like a Ric Flair or Sting, but
I think I would have gone with Sting, just because you had the 2 different versions of Sting.
Oh, you had a few different versions, yeah. But yeah, I think it should have been Sting, but yeah, everybody went Hogan.
Yep, 52% of people voted for Hogan. Second place was Sting, and then Ric Flair, and then Goldberg bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
All right, next poll was, what TV series had the worst finale? 4 options I put there were Dexter, Game of Thrones, How I Met Your Mother, and Lost.
Oh, Game of Thrones or Lost is going to get that, right?
Game of Thrones came in first pretty handily at 57%. However, Lost came in 4th.
You know, I didn't think Game of Thrones, like, it was that bad the last season, but you could definitely tell they were lost and they rushed a lot of things in it. Like, the writers completely had no clue what they were doing. But, I mean, I didn't think it was horribly bad.
What, Game of Thrones, you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was fucking terrible. It was some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's what happens when the writers can't steal from the book source.
Yep. No, and you could, I mean, you could legitimately see that. The second they had no more source material coming from George R.R. Martin, the story just went to crap. And it was like they just completely forgot about things. It was like, oh, you know, this whole big storyline with Jon Snow? Yeah, we're just going to kind of forget it. And then there was all the other earlier stuff with that, like there was the lady wearing the weird stuff over her face, and it was,
Wasn't one of them like it was pointless that he died and was resurrected if he wasn't even going to become the king?
Yeah, like good God, man, it was so bad.
It's like, what's the point of bringing him back if he had no relevance on the kingdomhood?
Oh, I scheduled these wrong. That's what happened.
Ah.
So 2 polls went up today, actually. And then there was another one here for the build up to the 4th of July. What is your favorite part of the 4th of July? Is it barbecue, fireworks, ice cream, or parades?
Fireworks. You can do all that other stuff any other time.
True. Fireworks, 49%. Barbecue, though, 43%. And then ice cream and parades coming in a distant 3rd and 4th. Although I did see an interesting meme today, post about Disneyland, where it was like, 4th of July is the one day a year when any true Disney fan watches your fireworks and goes, meh.
Yeah.
I mean, I legitimately remember the moment that happened. I was visiting back home in Portland over the 4th of July, and Blair and I, actually, we went to the park where there was like a huge party going on in the whole town of Happy Valley. Swear to God, Happy Valley. We were going to watch their big firework display, and it was crazy short, and it really wasn't that good. And we were done. We were like, that was it. And everybody was like, ooh, ah. And I'm like, clearly you bitches have never been to Disneyland, man. Like, come on.
Today's the last day that a lot of people will be able to open ketchup jars with their own hands.
Yep, ketchup. Come on, folks. Let's not do anything to the old fingers. Don't pull a JPP if you want.
I had a friend almost do that one time. He had one of those, it was like a quarter stick of dynamites.
Oh, Jesus.
And he lit it. And when he lit it, he pulled back to throw it. And it blew up in his hand right by my ear. And so like I couldn't hear anything out of my ear for like 30 minutes because it was so loud. And he's lucky he didn't have a good grip on it. His hand was kind of open, but it blew up in his hand because a dummy lit the firecracker halfway, and instead of just chunking it out, he reared back as if he could throw it. And that's why, but yeah, there's probably some tones that I can't hear since I was like 13 because of that.
That reminds me of the explanation that they give in Armageddon when the asteroid's coming. And how, if you have a firecracker and it's just sitting in your hand, yeah, it's going to hurt. But if you close your hand, it's going to blow your shit up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of their whole explanation as to why they had to drill and get a hold of Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck and Michael Clark Duncan and Steve Buscemi and Owen Wilson. I always forget Owen Wilson's in that, too.
I like how in half that movie, they try to explain how they have gravity on the spaceships. And then at other points, you're just like, we can't just... sometimes they're floating, sometimes they're walking. We don't know how to explain this stuff.
Sometimes you're just gonna see what's going on there. All right. All right, it's time for first impressions. I'm going to show Frank a picture here, and I want to know what his first impression is of this picture.
I can never disassociate him from Goodfellas in any other role. Even like if he's trying to be funny, I still think he's going to kill the person in the movie.
He's so good in Lethal Weapon 2. And this is why I was hoping that Alan would be here for this, because one of our whole things is, you know what they do? I gotta make sure enough time has passed because I'm going to clip this out later. So by the way, if you're coming in and you're watching this separately, make sure to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing is always, they fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? They fuck you at the drive-thru. And the okay thing, which I'm going to get to here in just a minute. So, we're talking about Lethal Weapon 2, which was released on July 7th, 1989. So, we're looking at about 35 years ago that this movie was released. Now, it made $227.9 million at the box office on a $30 million budget. Apparently, Mel Gibson at the time was battling some pretty serious alcohol issues.
No shit.
He confided in director Richard Donner that he was drinking 5 pints of beer for breakfast.
Hey, I wonder if that's going to come up later in his life.
Now, if you remember, some of the storyline, or a major portion of the storyline, it's all wrapped around South Africa.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that it was seemingly like almost anti-South Africa a little bit, it got a full release over there. It wasn't edited. And it ended up making a ton of money over there.
My friend wants to go back to Africa. Oh, yeah, sure.
But you're blick.
He's blick. He's right. You are black.
Again, if you've never seen Lethal Weapon 2, now granted, if you're watching this, you probably have, then go watch it again. But if you've never seen it, go watch Lethal Weapon 2. It's such a good movie.
Movies were just grittier at that time, too. They weren't like as polished, and they weren't like, it just like the tone was different than they are now. And that's what I enjoyed about a lot of those movies from the 80s and 90s. It just, TV and movies were gritty. Like, you felt like you could feel the grease off the screen.
It's interesting. I was gonna say, it's interesting when you say that, because that mentally took me to The Last Boy Scout for some reason.
There you go. They were, man. It was like a darker tone to it, and everything's so polished and clean, and you have to see every frame on screen, or people hate it. It's like I kind of like the dark areas where you don't know what's going on in the screen off on the side.
So the trailer for Lethal Weapon 2 had the toilet bomb scene in it. I mean, really, I think it was just the explosion. Like, this wasn't from the trailer. But if you remember, Murtaugh sits down, and then as he's going through the toilet paper, it says something like, boom, you're it, or something like that. And so they have to get him off of the toilet. But the trailer ends up with the toilet flying out of the actual house and landing on the car.
Right.
And the trailer ends with, this time, they're not taking any crap.
I love those movies and trailers from the days.
Oh, man.
The only thing that bothered me about that is when he first walked in and he goes to check under the toilet, and it's like, like the dude's already dropped a log in a toilet. Now you're getting down. First off, everything's carpeted, because that's how it was done in the 80s. So just
it's like
think
people
about
that used to have that carpeted toilet seat. Like, what the hell was that?
And now you're getting down on it, and you're trying to find this. It's like, even as a kid, I was like, God, I bet that stinks down there.
God. So Joe Pesci's character, which is Leo Getz, he was originally going to be an oily, effeminate character, but Pesci didn't want to play him that way.
No shit, really?
He wanted him to be eager to please. So that's where the okay comes from. Now, that shtick is actually from Disneyland employees giving directions in Fantasyland.
Really?
There's also a reference to Home Alone to Lethal Weapon 2 or Leo Getz. And that is, you know what it is?
It's, no, I know of it, but I've forgotten it at the moment.
It's the OK Plumbing and Heating. Let me see if I can move that over there. It's the OK Plumbing and Heating. That's an inside reference to the okay.
I thought there was like a line in the movie too that like referenced it, but maybe I was wrong.
Oh, there might be. I didn't have it here in my notes. And one final thing here, other actors that were
Ram vans.
Other actors that apparently turned down the role of Leo Getz include Joey Pantoliano and Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I don't know if Danny DeVito might have been able to pull it off, but I think that was perfect for Pesci.
I think it was too, especially in the comedic role. All right, next picture, Frank. What is your first thought when I show you this?
Okay, now, I think they had little pellets in them, didn't they? And you'd shoot it?
It was water.
I remember that gun. Oh, it was water? I remember that gun, but why do I think it shot pellets?
Because they have ones
I think
now
we actually
that do.
had one
and
of
there were some. There are, like, I know what you're talking about, and there are some that have pellets in them. But these were the Entertech water pistols. We mentioned this a few streams ago when we were talking about super soakers and stuff like that. So I never had this one, but I did have my own Entertech gun, and it was this one right here, which apparently was on sale at one point for $3.99.
I think we actually had, me and my brothers had the little AK one. Wasn't it battery operated that would suck the water out?
Yep.
Was that? Yep. Okay. Yep. And we had the pistol too. We had the pistol and the AK.
They were battery-powered motorized water guns. They sold from 1985 to 1990, and their marketing was the look, the feel, the sound, so real. Entertech. Now, the success was short-lived because of incidents involving law enforcement officers confusing them for real guns and
That's what I was about to
actually
say.
shooting and
Shooting
killing
kids.
children. Like, that happened. You can
I
even
think
find...
that was
Go ahead.
when they started putting like the orange like dot on them because
or
of
the
that.
red dot on the barrel.
Yeah, I remember that.
Of course, I'm not sure anybody would mistake this one for an actual gun. This was the rocket water launcher.
A lot of cops these days that just go out and busting caps, man.
So you can find articles throughout that entire time that the guns were produced of incidents. There's including one that was on the New York Times from 1988 that referenced 3 separate deaths that were involving these guns. Now, LJN, that was the company that made the guns. They were ultimately bought out by Acclaim Entertainment.
Huh.
And here's one more picture for you, because this is eventually what it morphed into. Because the whole point then, if you see here, the kid's shirt, you added this to the water, or this was the whole thing that you put in there. And then the point was it would temporarily show up on your clothes so you could see if you got hit.
It's disappearing, reappearing ink.
Yeah.
Acme was such a madman. Roger Rabbit, folks. Good movie.
All right, Frank, got another picture here for you. What is your first thought when you think, or when I show you this?
Freaking Elizabeth Shue. Oh my god. But it makes me think of Thor.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Adventures in Babysitting, released July 3rd, 1987.
God, Elizabeth Shue was so hot.
Still is. Made $34.4 million at the box office. Now, this movie was actually the directorial debut of Christopher Columbus.
Columbus, yeah. It was a Chicago movie.
And he went on to direct Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the first 2 Harry Potter movies. Now, Paramount had the first right of refusal for the movie. And they would only make the movie unless Molly Ringwald played Christina Parker.
Good lord. They wanted her in everything in the
They
80s,
were
huh?
adamant that there was no star power unless it was Molly Ringwald.
Little did they know, sexy Elizabeth Shue.
Ultimately,
Hold things down.
Ultimately, it would end up in the hands of Disney and Buena Vista Pictures and Touchstone, and they were the ones that released it.
And then the other kid went on to be in the Babysitter movie, or the Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So he did
Yes!
2 babysitting
I got a
movies.
picture. I got a picture that we're gonna get to with that kid too later on in a future stream. But this is Sarah. She originally wasn't into Thor. In the story, she was going to be into He-Man and She-Ra.
Okay.
But the characters meant nothing to Christopher Columbus. He was a huge Marvel fan, and he thought that Thor would be better.
Vincent. Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
A lot of people thought that
AKA
they should have brought him back in the multiverse as
oh,
Thor,
that
but
would be great. Have him as both that and Kingpin.
yeah, Fisk.
So, I got a quick question here. What was the deal with like teen 80s movies and them ending up at a bar hanging out with like a group of black people singing the blues?
I think that goes back to Blues Brothers.
Does it?
Because like Blues Brothers did a lot of that, where they just went to different bars and different spots, and then I think that just became like blues was kind of big in the 80s, and so you just found like you would take what's the first thing you want to do with a suburban white kid? You put him in the inner city, and rap wasn't big at that point, so
it's
blues is it, and you put him in a blues shop with the inner city. Black culture that's what it's supposed to be, the fish out of water thing. Yeah, that's exactly
I remember
what it is.
I just recently, as I was sort of mapping all of this stuff out, I went back and rewatched the Weird Science scene. It is so funny. Where he's like, and he's like, the girl with the titties, and then there's the big guy next to him, and he goes, the one with the titties. Oh my god!
In the 90s, all the kids ended up at rap shows.
Yeah.
So it just switched over.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just kind of updated with the music, I guess. So, and then finally, one final note here on Adventures in Babysitting. There was an attempt at a television show in the late 80s. There was a pilot that was made starring Joey Lawrence and Brian Austin Green. It ran
Lord.
one time on July 7th, 1989.
Canceled.
Can you
I don't even
consider it
remember that.
canceled if it never even got picked up?
I guess not. Yeah. I guess not.
All right, next
Denied.
picture. Next picture here, Frank. What do you think when I show you this?
A lot of freaking trips to the hospital.
So, there's a common misconception. So these are lawn darts, aka jarts,
Jarts.
which is interesting that one of the promo pictures that comes up for it is this.
70s style. Baby.
When for a long time, companies were supposed to be putting warnings on the boxes about keeping them away from their children because they were very dangerous. It's a giant projectile that can hurt people. So this ultimately was the warning.
Look how he's shooting one out of his penis.
So in the 80s, they had already been banned, but the manufacturers fought the ban.
Wow.
The manufacturers ended up winning, said they could make and sell the product as long as there was a warning
It's like
stating
cigarettes.
that the game was for adults, not kids. Which takes us to David Snow, an aerospace engineer from Riverside, California, who ended up buying a set. Now, he didn't want to buy the Jarts. He actually just wanted a volleyball set. But it came as like a package deal, and that was the only thing he could get. So he bought it all. He went and set up the volleyball net and then put the Jarts in his garage on a shelf somewhere. Well, his 9-year-old son and some friends found them and began to play with them. One of the kids ended up tossing one of the darts too high and too far. It went over the backyard fence and landed where Snow's 7-year-old daughter was playing.
Oh.
The dart penetrated her skull. She
Yep.
was rushed to the hospital and ended up dying 3 days later. So Snow ultimately took his complaint that lawn darts were dangerous to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, because one of the common misconceptions is that there was only like 1 or 2 injuries when it came to jarts, and there was just this one guy that really banned it for everybody. We're going to get to how that was a bunch of BS here right now. Because the Consumer Product Safety Commission claimed they only knew of about 24 total injuries involving lawn darts, and that a complete ban was not justified. However, after a lot of digging, the real numbers told a different story. Over an 8-year period, lawn darts had sent 6,100 people to the emergency room. 81% of those cases were kids 15 years or older, or 15 years or younger. And half of those were 10 years or younger. The majority of the injuries are kind of what you would think: head, face, eyes, ears. And a lot of them led to permanent injuries or disabilities. So more research showed that many of the manufacturers weren't even complying with the warning requirements that they had fought for to be able to put the products back on the shelves. The week the commission was set to vote on a ban, Snow's case was unfortunately helped, and I mean unfortunate because of what's about to happen. An 11-year-old girl in Tennessee was in a coma after getting hit with a lawn dart. Lawn darts were removed from stores the week before Christmas 1988, although the ban did not include a recall on any previous sold lawn dart sets. That is the truth behind Jarts.
Ugh. Yeah, they were already, I think, mostly off the shelf by the time I was a young kid, so I never got to play with those.
I remember, I think my grandparents had a set, and we were always kind of told don't play with it unless the adults are around. And even then, like, you know, it's a giant metal thing with a pointy end. Like, we didn't really need to be told a whole lot.
Spike there. I don't know, man. Some kids.
Scuba Steve says lawn dart and lobotomy roulette.
Yeah, man.
All right, Frank, I got another picture here for you. What is your first thought when you see this?
One time at band camp.
There you go. I was kind of hoping that would be the one. American Pie. It was released.
That's like the only thing you really need to remember besides him being caught fucking the pie.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much it.
So it was released July 9th, 1999. It made $235.5 million at the box office on a budget of just $11 million.
You said July 9th of 1999?
Yes.
God, why do I think it came out in 98?
I don't know. We can always look that up, make sure that I'm right.
No, I'm sure you're right, but it's like...
Well, I do
just-
make
For some
mistakes.
reason, I have a feel like it was like in 98 for some reason.
No, July 9th, 1999. So
Huh.
The original screenplay was titled Untitled Teenage Sex Comedy that can be made for under $10 million that most readers will probably hate, but I think you will love. Obviously, that was directed at the people who were going to make the movie. And at one point, the actual title of the movie was going to be called Great Falls. Because East Great Falls High School is where they go to high school at.
Oh, good Lord. American Pie was better.
The original cut of the film had an NC-17 rating. It only got downgraded to R after they edited the pie scene.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember hearing about that, was that they had to, because apparently there was more to the pie scene than what was actually shown in theaters or something.
There was also,
I think there's a director's cut out there.
There was also a lot of ad-libbing in the movie. First of all, Eugene Levy, who played the dad, he didn't like how the character was written. So he only took the role if he could improv all of his lines. And there were also no lines when Jim and Michelle hook up. So Allison Hannigan, who plays Michelle, she came up with the line, "What's my name? Say my name. Say my name, bitch."
Oh, Lord.
And no, the movie did not create the term MILF. Do you know the first time you heard the term MILF?
No, it's just, I mean, at this point, it's just always been around.
I specifically remember from 1995 because one of my baseball coaches called one of the players' moms a MILF, and all of us were like, "What's that?" And he goes, "Mom, Mom, I'd like to fuck." And we were like, "Oh, Gilbo, your mom's a MILF."
Poor Gilbo.
So Adam Hertz is the writer, and he patterned Stifler after a real person he went to high school with named Brian Krebs. Now, two different sources have made this claim, although Hertz has never officially said if this is the case. But you might be wondering why this is important. Because that is Krebs right there.
Good Lord.
Krebs ended up stabbing and killing a well-known drummer, Jimmy Pagano, in a bar fight in 2011. Krebs was convicted in 2016. He died in prison in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's update Stifler's life there.
You mean this Stifler?
Jeez.
He was so, like, I gotta tell you, he was brilliant in this role. He was fantastic.
He was typecast at that point, too. He could never do any role after. He tried and just could never do it.
I still liked him as Mac's brother on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And then, if you don't know this, while they're all watching the scene of Shannon and Elizabeth, double-clicking the old mouse, that's Blink-182.
Yep.
That is Travis Barker. Unfortunately, he joined the band right around this same time. And he didn't get the credit in the movie.
Huh.
Oh, shit. I had it here somewhere. What did I do? There we go. Mark Hoppus, Tom DeLonge, and Scott Rayner.
Like it says
that was the drummer
band
before Travis Barker. Yeah, and they're listed as Garage Band. Yeah.
Guy with Monkey is even better. I think I'd want to be Guy with Monkey.
And one final note about American Pie. The actual pie right here was bought at Costco.
Okay. Fantastic.
All right. I was going to get to coming attractions, but I totally forgot to prepare it. So, yeah.
Aha!
We won't be doing that.
Forget your coming attraction.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody in the chat, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about for coming attractions, anything that you're looking forward to.
Deadpool, Wolverine, that's about it.
Yeah, but we're still like a few weeks away from that.
Only about 20 days. We'll make it.
Lane and I are going to go see that. Lane, I'm going to be in Portland. So there's not going to be a live stream coming up here on July 24th because I will actually be out of town. I'm going to be in Portland, and that following Sunday. So here's an idea that Lan and I were kind of floating around because we're going to have a whole day where we're going to go check out Deadpool during the day, and then we're going to go to the Timbers match at night. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to get around because Alan wants to drink, and I won't have a car. So we're thinking about Ubering it. But what I told him would be hilarious if we did is if we just had my mom drop us off at the movie theater like we were 10. And then we can Uber it from there, or like, and we even talked about potentially. So in Portland, there's the public transit system's called the Max, and apparently it's turned into fucking Thunderdome on these things, man. Like it's just disgusting. So we've thought about maybe going and seeing Deadpool, and then hopping on the Max downtown to the Timbers game and live streaming the entire time we're on the Max.
Oh man!
So I'm just saying.
The MTV, the Max.
Oh, the Beard says Skeleton Crew. Is that coming out now? When is that? Skeleton Crew. When is that releasing? I don't have a date on it. Oh, it just says it's scheduled late 2024. Oh, around Christmas is when it says. Yeah, Scuba Steve says mom for the win. I totally could. Because I remember when Alan and I were 10, 11 years old, I think it was his parents that drove, but we went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Nice.
He and I saw a lot of movies together when we were kids. All right, Frank, are you ready? You got your questions, my man?
I got questions.
You got your questions?
I got questions.
All right, here we go. It is time for 5 fast questions. Frank has the questions. I have the answers. Fire away, sir.
What historical event would you like to have been at?
The Kennedy assassination.
Who would be the least surprised to find out is an alien?
Victor Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm. What's the most important aspect of a good relationship?
Communication.
Who's your favorite TV character of all time?
Oh, God. Abed from Community.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've witnessed at work?
I once saw somebody pull a piece of cake out of the garbage, blow off actual used coffee grounds, and then eat it. And that is 5 fast questions.
George Costanza was his name?
Oh, it was iffy, man. All right. What was question number 1?
What historical event would you have liked to have been at?
I mean, you could go back to like the crucifixion or the birth of Christ or these other things, but
right.
It's like I've seen enough about it. I would like to go back to Dealey Plaza during the Kennedy assassination.
That's the thing, though. It's like most historical events are like just like, I mean, it's something bad happened. There's like nothing like extremely good that. I mean,
well, I mean, you could go like oh, I want to be there when the Berlin Wall comes down.
But I mean, David Hasselhoff was there. That's all you needed. Nobody else needed to be there besides the Hoff.
Beard just put a really good one in the chat. The Live Aid concert.
That would have been fun. I mean, I think some people think maybe seeing the signing of the Declaration of Independence, but I think they don't realize that was like 4 months of just talking before they actually signed on that.
Woodstock.
Woodstock,
you know, like if you go to like a major concert or something like that, or maybe you want to be in the theater when help make sure Abraham Lincoln doesn't get shot.
I want to be there in the time of Rome and Greek. I want to see stuff back in those days. Let's find some historic event then.
All right. What was the next question?
Who would you be least surprised to find out was an alien? At this point, I think anybody. I don't know if it would surprise me at all.
Well, my
especially
brain
after the debate last week.
My brain went to Victor Wembanyama because have you seen the meme of what it looked like when he was dunking over people, and he legitimately looks like Michael Jordan with the outstretched arm from Space Jam, and I'm like, man, that guy is a monster.
Yeah, I anybody in power, I think it would not shock me at all.
All right,
like they live.
Yeah, no shit. I'm all out of bubble gum. All right, what was the next one?
Who's the most important? What's the most important aspect of a good relationship? Sex.
So, my grandmother actually said this during. There was one of the big anniversaries with my grandfather. This would have been like around 1999, 2000. And she was talking about, like, somebody had asked them how they were able to make it work for so long. And she said that there's 3 things that you need to have. 1 is communication. 2 is you have to have your finances in order. Like you have to agree what you're doing with your money. And 3, you got to have a good sex life. And everybody's like, Grandma! Jesus. And that's it. What's interesting is, do you remember those old like poker games? They were just like this big, and you could have like poker, blackjack, you know, like they were huge in the late 90s. So we were like helping my grandparents clean out their house one day, and we noticed that they had those sitting at their bedside table, and we asked them about it. And they were like, yeah, like we'll just wake up randomly at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And since we can't sleep, we'll play the game. All right. All right, next question.
Number 4. Who's your favorite TV character of all time?
Well, the Beard put Ron Swanson. That's a good one. I would put him up there. I can actually think of about, I think, 4 that I absolutely love. One of which is Abed from Community, Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation, Omar Little from The Wire.
Okay.
And this next one I think is one of the most underrated that's out there. Bill Haverchuck from Freaks and Geeks, played by the amazing Martin Starr.
Okay. I would go Woody Harrelson from Cheers. He was a pretty good one in his role there.
Yeah.
Tim Allen in Home Improvement. I just love, except for the last 2 years, but the first 4 years, his character was friggin' fantastic.
Yeah, I would agree with those. And
I can't really think of anybody else.
All right. Well, and then what was the last question?
Bart Simpson.
Yeah, Bart Simpson. Homer, I think I would probably. You know what? I still think Ralph Wiggum doesn't get the credit that Ralph Wiggum is due, man. I put that poll up a couple of weeks ago about who's the best non-Simpson character on The Simpsons, and he did not get the amount of votes that he should have. That's bullshit.
What's the weirdest thing you've witnessed at work? I've witnessed a lot.
Yes, Frank has
stories on stories on
Frank has stories for days. So back like 10, 15 years ago, when we were all playing Halo and Battlefield and everything else like that, Frank, we would all log online, and then Frank would just tell us from when he worked at the sporting goods store to now when he's working for the government. He just has some of the craziest fucking stories. But what is like, if you could pick one, what is the one story that you would pull out of all of them?
I mean, the two that are, I mean, and it's not like, I'm not making fun of these people, but it's the Burt Reynolds guy and the old guy who came in and bought the Boston Red Sox championship T-shirt. Those are the two that I remember most from working there. Now, to explain the Burt Reynolds guy, there's this guy, slow in the head. Who knows what he had? Something. Nice guy, but he would come in and he would talk and he would talk and he would talk and talk, and he'd be in there for 2 or 3 hours because he had no understanding that he couldn't just do this stuff. So one day he starts talking about how he knows Burt Reynolds. How he knows Burt Reynolds because he met him one time at a Florida State football game, and now they're buddies. So he's telling us this story, and the guy's like, and I asked him about Boogie Nights, and he said, "Listen, we don't talk about that movie. That's not my favorite movie." And I said, "Okay, Bert, I won't ever ask you about that movie."
Oh, I'll never see Burt Reynolds in another light again.
Oh man, but yeah, I've got a few. Some that I can talk about.
Okay, so we might need to isolate out like one segment a week for Frank to just tell a work story from his past. Or just a story in general. It doesn't even have to be work related, because even then, Frank's got other stories that are, because it's fucking Tallahassee, Florida.
I've been around, man.
Frank's seen some shit.
And for whatever reason, like the craziest, most off the wall people decide to come up and zero me out to talk to me or to do the weirdest crap in front of me. I don't know why. I've had girlfriends tell me that before. Like anybody just comes up and starts talking to you. I was like, yeah, I don't know why. They just see me and want to have a conversation.
You got a friendly face.
I must.
So the Beard says, I kind of worked with him. So there are a few weird things. Yeah, I've seen him in a bikini. Anna says that's a tough one. Maybe there's one time at some drive-through, a customer through change in her face because they were pissed off. Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah.
I do remember, speaking of people just randomly coming up to you, when I was down in South Florida, I went to a college called Nova Southeastern University, and I worked for the radio station there while I was getting my degree in computer science. And we would host live events on campus. And there was an actual, like, kind of restaurant bar on the campus. It was pretty cool. They served beer there. And so we were going to go host this event. And I remember it was when, I believe, the Heat and the Spurs were in the finals. So as I'm leaving the radio station, that's right where there's this big roundabout at just the main part of campus. And as I'm wheeling all the stuff, I hear these motorcycles and these two dudes pull up. Just huge, big, burly, badass biker dudes. They were Mongols. So if you don't know what that is, you can look it up. But they are badasses.
This was in Miami?
Yeah, that you don't fuck with.
That's outlaw territory, man.
So, no, I think they were Mongols, I believe.
No, but I'm saying like outlaws control that. Well, they might have actually let the Mongols go because Mongols and Hell's Angels hate each other. And
yeah, I was trying to think if they were outlaws instead. No, I think
outlaws
they
hate
were.
Hell's Angels.
Either way, it was. They might have been outlaws actually, because I think
They were
actually,
probably safe.
because I think that Mongols actually was somebody I ran into in Portland. But either way, so when they pull up, they don't know where they're going. Who do you think that they glob onto? Who do you think they come to? This guy, bald head, no beard. I had a goatee at the time, sleeve tattoo, the whole nine. So
He looks like a biker.
Yeah, so they immediately come up to me, and they're just asking like, "Hey, where can we get a beer?" And I was like, where I'm going right now, they serve beer, man. Like, we'll get you in." And I just, as we walk in, I'm hauling in all of the equipment, and it's these just two dudes, and there's all these. So at this time I was 33, I think. So I was older than like most of the kids that were on campus. And there's all these little 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that are just like terrified of these bikers. So we get into the bar, and I start setting up, and I went over and I told the bartender, I was like, "Hey, these guys are with me. Just give them a beer. They're cool. They got it." And everybody was just fucking terrified. And then it finally got to the point where the bartender was like, "We can't serve them because they're not students here." So ultimately what happened was I told him, like, there's actually, if you got, and I gave him directions to another bar that was down the street. I think it was Geronimo's actually is where I sent them. But yeah, like out of anybody there, who do you think that they were going to isolate? This guy.
Hey, at least they didn't try to initiate you.
No shit. All right, so here's how the movie draft is going to work. We're doing Tom Cruise. It's his birthday today. Happy 62nd birthday, Mr. Cruise. Normally, Lan and Frank get to go first. But as you can see, Lan is frozen. He's not here. He's not feeling well. So what we're going to do is we are going to let Anna from the chat pick the movies for the third in the triple feature. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to build the best triple feature of Tom Cruise movies. Once a movie is off the board, that's it. You can't pick that one anymore. It's gone, baby. It's gone. So Anna, I'm going to have Frank go first because of the delay and everything between what we're doing in the chat with what we're doing live. Start to think about it. And then I want your what movie you are going with for Tom Cruise, but I'm going to go with Frank first. What is your first movie in the Tom Cruise movie draft?
I mean, you got to go with Top Gun, right? 'Cause that's the one that kind of skyrocketed him to fame.
Well, you don't have to, but you can.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Top Gun.
You're going the regular, the OG Top Gun.
The OG 86. Top Gun. The one that had the best soundtrack of all time.
Danger Zone! All right, so now it's on you, Anna. We'll talk about Top Gun a little bit here, but you got to get on it. You can't just be sitting there, otherwise we're going to let the beard pick. How hot was Kelly McGillis in that movie, by the way?
Yeah, did you see why they didn't put her in the last one?
No, why?
Because she does not look like that anymore, we'll just say.
Oh, no, I think I have seen pictures of her. All right, Anna has already given us her second one, or her first pick. She's going Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Your mic is glitching out there, Frank.
My phone's too close.
All right.
Phone close.
Which means that I get to go back to back, ladies and gentlemen. when it comes to Tom Cruise movies. And this is, damn, like, it's a lot easier for me when you guys isolate some of the ones I was going to pick, but I would have gone with Top Gun. I don't think I would have gone with Tropic Thunder just because he's not one of the main characters in that movie. He's fantastic.
He's so good in it, though. Yeah.
But he's not like it's not a main role for him. So instead, I think for my first pick, I'm going to go with the Oscar winner. Where the hell did it go? Well, we'll start with Jerry Maguire. And apparently I picked up, this is not an English version of the movie poster.
You got the French version.
All right, so we're going to go Jerry Maguire. All right, so get your next pick ready there, Anna, because I'm going back to back, and then you get to pick right after this. And then my next one, I got to pick it. It's just a fantastic movie. You got to go Rain Man.
Yeah, you got Rain Man?
You have to go Rain
Kmart
Man.
sucks, Ray.
Wapner. All right, Anna, we're on you. What is your second choice for your Tom Cruise movie draft? Oh, she was ready to rock and roll, and she's going with Eyes Wide Shut. Weird ass
that's
movie.
kind of a controversial one there. Huh?
I don't think I've ever actually seen it all the way through. I think I would just fast forward to the booby scenes.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Basically Hollywood.
All right, Frank, you get back to back here, my man.
Back to back. All right, so I'll first one. I'm gonna go with A Few Good Men.
Oh, see, that was going to be my third one if it lasted. He wants the truth, damn it.
I want the truth.
Where? Oh, here we go.
Handle the truth.
We got A Few Good Men right there.
And then my third one, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's one of his better ones. I like The Last Samurai. I just his acting in it and just the tone of that movie. It's not overly done. It's kind of
it is a very slow movie, so
yeah.
It's one of those ones that you really kind of need to be geared up for, if you will.
Oh, look at him in that one. And the other one, it has him with his little flowing hair off to the side, but he looks ready to go.
No, I picked the angry one on that one.
Ah!
All right, so there are Frank's triple feature. Anna, you are up. What is your third pick for Tom Cruise triple feature?
Why is he listed as a credit on Young Guns?
He is?
Like when I pulled up Tom Cruise movies, it brought up Young Guns, and I was like, I don't, unless he did like some sort of just voiceover that I'm unaware of, I don't know why he would have been listed for that.
Did I ever tell you that when I watched Young Guns 2,
Yeah.
I was so stoned I didn't realize that it was Billy the Kid? It took an hour and 15 minutes of that movie to where all of a sudden I go, oh my God, he's Billy the Kid?
There's some talks out there that they're thinking about doing a third Young Guns. And I don't know how they're gonna pull that off.
Now, Anna, you're all good. She's apologizing for being late. You are right on time. And her final
Tom
pick
Cruise.
is The Outsiders. Good pick.
That's a good one. So in that movie, he was a henchman that was shot.
No shit.
So apparently he has just a little small role in that movie, and he's a henchman and gets shot.
That sounds about right. All right, so I've got a lot of honorable mentions here when it comes to Tom Cruise movies. I'm trying to think of
All the Young Guns.
I think I know which one I'm going to go with for my final one, but we got to go back to something like Cocktail. There's an honorable mention for you.
Dude, I would have gone for that one too, because Elizabeth Shue.
So we've really found out that Frank has an odd obsession.
I
don't want to say
Elizabeth
odd
Shue.
because she's a fantastic actress and a beautiful woman.
She was a great actress, but she got lost in the shuffle because she has that like next door neighbor girl look, wasn't overly sexualized, and it wasn't until leaving Las Vegas when you were like, holy crap, Elizabeth Shue. But yeah, she's gorgeous.
And here's one for
That was such a weird one.
Here's one for all the folks for the 4th of July, born on the 4th of July. Another
When they were
honorable mention.
when they were in the hospital recovering, that kind of weirds me out. That movie.
I've never seen Collateral, but I've heard it's really good.
I've only seen portions of it. Yeah, I think Jamie Lee Foxx deserved the Oscar for that over Ray
Did you
because
just call
anybody
him
can be a
Jamie
blind
Lee
person.
Fox?
Jamie Lee Fox. He's got boobs.
I am a little surprised this one didn't get picked.
I don't think too many people have seen that movie. I've never
Really?
seen it, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people have seen that movie.
Of course, there's all of the whole myriad of Mission Impossible movies.
Which is so wild if you watch the way that first one was made and done to what they are now. Just the uptick on like how he took over that franchise is wild.
If I were to actually pick of all of the Mission Impossibles, Fallout would be the one that I would pick.
Yeah, that one was a good one. That one was a really good one.
See,
Second one wasn't bad.
Anna says Jack Reacher would be a
I enjoyed
honorable
Jack
mention.
Reacher.
I can't because in the books,
He's
Jack
7
Reacher is
foot tall.
huge.
Yeah.
He looks
Jack
like
Reacher,
it's
huge.
Alan Ritchson, who now plays Jack Reacher
Huge.
in the TV show.
Jack Reacher, huge.
You also have The Firm.
I don't really think I've seen that one either.
That's a good one. It's I read the book
I think,
and then I
I
watched
have.
the movie.
I have. Excuse me, I have because I remember the ending of it. Excuse me.
Don't forget Legend.
Legend, yeah. The movie bombed. People loved the hell out of it.
Who
Who was the demon? Who was the demon?
The demon was Tim Curry, wasn't it?
Exactly.
And again, another one that I'm really surprised. Well, okay, hold on.
The Muppet Babies.
No, because I'm trying to figure out which one I actually want to go with. Because there's a lot of other honorable mentions. You got like War of the Worlds, which was like, nah. You got
That
his
was
movie
alright.
Vanilla
I didn't.
Sky.
That one was so weird. I remember seeing that in theaters and leaving out like going, "What the hell did I just watch?"
Beard is bringing up Top Gun Maverick, which would
Yeah.
be worthy. So here's where I'm torn. Because, and this
Like
is where
Natalie and Imbruglia.
well, yeah, just like Natalie Imbruglia. Although I'm also surprised this one didn't get picked. Edge of Tomorrow.
I thought about that one. And they're making a second one. That and Oblivion. Those two movies are highly underrated and really good.
And
It's just that they were very similar and came out like within a year apart.
then don't forget you also had Minority Report.
That was such that I still don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like hit or miss with that one. Like sometimes I get it, and other times I'm like,
So
how do you replace an eyeball?
I'm
Risky business, baby.
bum, 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 bum. I mean, if you think about it, two of these movies. I mean, obviously, his movies,
prostitute.
a lot of his movies are iconic, but I mean, they have scenes that are replicated everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like the the underwear scene, that down 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 down.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm going to go with the movie that I, other than Top Gun, might remember Tom Cruise for most.
Days of Thunder?
Yeah, rubbing is racing, baby. Rubbing is
What?
racing.
I told you about that scene where that actress actually says his real name. They're walking him, the other male driver.
It's when he
and
goes to
and
Rowdy. It's when he goes out to Rowdy's house.
Rowdy's house. Yep.
And that's so, because they're trying to convince him to get his head checked because he won't go to the doctor. And it's Rowdy's wife actually doesn't call him Cole Trickle being his name in the movie.
Calls him
She calls him
Tom.
Tom.
And they keep it in the movie because nobody noticed. And
Beard
it's still
says,
there today.
Beard says Tom Cruise's teeth are off center. The gap in the front of his teeth, and it bugs him.
Dude, if you look at his teeth from The Outsiders, so you could tell
Oh,
he
yeah.
had everything replaced. Like everything was completely replaced.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Well, all right, folks. That is just about going to do it for the show today.
Interview with a Vampire would have been one to put in there.
That would have been a solid one as well. But here are
I think they were gay.
the final picks. Top Gun, A Few Good Men, and The Last Samurai. That's for Frank. From Anna in the chat, we have Tropic Thunder, Eyes Wide Shut, and The Outsiders. And then my triple feature is Jerry Maguire, Rain Man, and Days of Thunder.
Remember when
So-
Hardee's had little cars that you could get?
What?
Hardee's
Oh,
for that
Hardee's.
movie they
Yeah.
had.
I think you
could
said
get the
parties,
little,
and I'm like, did you go to parties where they handed out
Yeah,
Hot
no.
Wheels?
you could get those little cars. I like stole 2 of those cars from my next door neighbor. I still have them somewhere.
Well, at least you didn't throw them away. At least they're, you held on to
They're
them.
somewhere.
All right, that's going to do it for the live stream. Be sure, we got the clips that come out where I kind of isolate some of the stuff. I'm producing a lot of different content for Instagram and Facebook as well. If you guys can go make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, it's at The Real Brandalorian. I put up a post every single day. There's also YouTube polls. Those are the things that we recapped at the beginning of the stream. Those go up every single day, so you can check that stuff out. To find that, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel and then go to the community page. And under there, we'll have all of the different polls and everything that I put up. So make sure you guys are checking that stuff out. Please make sure that you are liking and subscribing. Liking the videos definitely helps out. Also, 3 shorts drop every single day. Not my pants, but actual videos. And we are going to be back next week. Hopefully, Land's feeling better. And then also, just a heads up, we will be off coming up on the 24th, as I am going to be out of town. Although Alan and I have been toying with the idea of that Sunday, he and I are going to go check out Deadpool, and then we're going to head to the Portland Timbers game. And we're toying with the idea of hopping on live. That might be an Instagram live, not a YouTube live, but we'll see. We'll see which one runs better. But you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Anything you need to polish off there, Frank? Any added comments or anything else you need there, buddy?
No, nothing I can think of. I was trying to think of something really quick there, but I'm stuck on Tom Cruise for some reason. Might have gone like Scientology way. I don't know.
Follow Frank on the social medias. Do you post pictures of the stuff you're making, like that Beetlejuice painting?
The painting stuff? Yeah, I put those up there.
So where can people follow you?
What is my Instagram?
Sharples Live?
No, J Sharp 850.
There you go, J Sharp 850. Follow him on the gram.
Painted things. Looks all shiny.
Frank made that Beatle juice right there.
Dude, little thingy right there.
Alrighty, on that note, you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.
I'm an artist.
Fucking blow up any fingers, man. Like, make sure you guys are safe during the 4th of July holiday. Make sure that you guys are here next week with all 10 digits.
I'm probably throwing up a gang sign. I'm going to get shot.